Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a new video. I'm actually very excited for this video because today we're actually going to be lowering the car, and I ordered new SR Performance shocks and struts and SR Performance lowering springs. So the reason I'm going with lowering springs is because, you know, they're within the budget right now, and I am getting something in addition to that, but that will be in the next video. So this is just, you know, foreshadowing what's to come. But before we get into the install, I just want to talk about the stock suspension and how it feels and how I feel it, you know, driving this car for the past, I've been driving this car for the past year. And I've also taken it to the streets of Willow once, so I could speak about that as well. But let's just get started with street driving and its practicality. So for most people, you know, you're driving a regular car like a Toyota, a Honda, something like that, and honestly the driving on those cars, it's very smooth. You don't feel any bumps on the road. It's not as harsh, and I know that because one of my family cars is a Toyota Corolla, and it's, keep in mind, it's a 2013, and I don't feel any bumps at all. However, when I'm driving the Mustang, you know, I feel the whole road. I feel all the bumps. It's very bumpy, and it's not the worst. Like, it's not something that you can't handle, but you do sacrifice that when you're driving a sports car. And I mean, it is what it is, right? You buy these cars to enjoy them, not to be comfortable. So you want to have fun with these cars. You want to, you know, go fast. You don't really care about being comfortable. If you did, then that's where you get something more luxurious. And there's obviously cars like that, but this is a Mustang. It's 2005, so the suspension, it's not the best, but that will be one thing that I'll say. Stock suspension wise, you do feel a lot of bumps, and it's very harsh on the road. So one thing I noticed is that whenever I go over a bump, the car will kind of like shift, or it'll steer towards that bump, and that's one thing that I don't like. Pretty sure I need to get a bump steer kit installed in the front end, because that's why it happens. And I almost forgot, we're also installing tie rods. So my old tie rods, the bushings are already worn out, and I hear a lot of clunking. Another thing is that the front end, I mean, I barely hit 90,000 miles, but you definitely need to reinstall some of the older parts with the new ones, and that goes for every car. So it doesn't matter if it's a Honda or an old Toyota. Like, after a while, you're gonna have to replace some of the parts. One more thing, when we're talking about the ride height. So this car is like staggered. It's very tall. It's like a monster truck right now. And one thing that you'll notice when you brake is at the front end. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but the front end, it dives down and your rear end just goes up. Hopefully once we install the lowering springs, it will fix that, but we'll have to see about that. So like right now, this road is very uneven and bumpy, and the car feels everything. You feel everything. I mean, you're planted on the road, so I will say that's a good thing. We've just arrived at the store, so we're gonna get our tools that we need right here at Harbor Freight. There's Harbor Freight right there. I'm just gonna park, get my tools, and then I'll continue with the video. So we'll be right back, guys. All right, so we just got the tools that we needed. We got our inner tie rod removal tool, and then our spring compressors for the springs, and we also got some thread lock since we are going to be installing the tie rods. So yeah, let's get back to the video, guys. Always make sure to wear your seatbelt, guys. Make sure to be safe. Rather be safe than sorry. I have a really bad exhaust rattle, and that thing bugs me so much, but we'll just deal with it for now. It's not anything crazy. Oh shit, there's a cop right there, bro. Let's continue talking about the handling of the car. so with the stock suspension. So when I did go to Willow Springs, or the streets of Willow, what I did notice, and what I noticed when just taking turns in general, you get a lot of body roll with the car and the suspension that it has. Obviously that's not the best thing because it decreases your stability and your traction, but we'll see once we add the lowering springs if that will make a difference, and I'm pretty sure it will make a difference, but we'll have to see how big of a difference it makes. I know lowering springs aren't like the best suspension mod. It preferably you were to use coilovers, but to get good coilovers you had to spend at least more than $1,000, and right now that's not in the budget. So we're gonna try out the lowering springs, we're gonna see how they feel, see how they work, and yeah, overall the suspension is not bad with the stock 3 valve, but you can definitely enhance it, especially if you need those performance capabilities. If you just want to drive this car for fun and, you know, go fast here and there, then I think your stock suspension, it's gonna do just fine. Like, you're good. But if you want to enhance the car and actually be able to drive it more and handle a lot better, then you will need to upgrade a lot of suspension parts just to make this car up to where it should have been out the factory. But like anything, this isn't a GT500, this isn't a Shelby, this is a regular GT, it's stock. So that's the fun part about it. When you buy a car that's just like high trim and it's not the top of the top, then you are able to actually work on your car. You're able to install new parts to make it faster. You're able to build it to what you want it to be. So that's what I'm trying to do with this car. I want it to be track capable. I want it to be a very handling, nimble car. I don't need to be the fastest one in a straight line. I don't care about that. If that's what I cared about, then I'm gonna add a supercharger on it, but it doesn't matter to me. What matters is its handling and capabilities. So yeah, enough of the rambling. The next clip is gonna be me in my backyard, and we're actually gonna be installing the lowering springs now. So I'll see you guys when we're there.